It's delicious. Hey everyone, welcome back to Emma in Costa Rica. Today we are going to be cooking and we're going to be making arroz con pollo. That is chicken with rice. However, we're going to be making it tico style. So of course, the star of the show is going to be rice. Right now I have 2 cups of rice in this bowl, which we're going to be cooking shortly. First off, we need to use chicken breast. This is a very large chicken breast, and what I'm going to do is just boil it down, and then we're going to use the broth from that to cook the rice so that it has that really good infusion of flavor. To the rice, before it starts to cook, we're going to add cilantro and a few pieces of garlic. I got 3 cloves here. And then after that, we're going to fry everything up, including these 2 goodies and a few condiments to go with that. And we're also going to be making a side dish today to go along with the chicken and rice, and the main ingredient will be beets. So let's get to cooking. So we're gonna start by just covering the chicken with water and then bring it to a boil, and we'll just let that cook. So I've rinsed the rice here. So we've got our 2 cups of rinsed rice. I always find it's important to rinse the rice so you get rid of that starchiness and it doesn't end up getting really clumpy and soggy and overly wet. So here we have our chicken broth. So this is about 2 cups, or let's say slightly more, maybe 2 cups and a quarter of the chicken broth that we just cooked. I don't usually add the full amount of water that is supposed to be like the ratio to cook rice, because I find that I prefer my rice to be a little bit underdone, and after this we're going to keep cooking it anyways in a pan, so it's better that it's a little bit underdone than overdone. So to this we're going to add about 3 stalks of cilantro coyote. This is like the Latin American one. If you can find it, it's better, it has stronger flavor. If not, you can just use regular. I would probably recommend using a little bit more of the leaf one, but if you can get this, it's better. So we're just gonna throw them in like that. So for our garlic, we're just gonna peel it, just pop it in now, and then afterwards we can just kind of break them apart. So we're just gonna put this to cook now. You don't have to add anything else, it's good to go. We've got our cilantro, we've got our garlic, our rice, and our chicken broth. So now we are going to start doing some of the prep work so we don't have to do it all at once. So we're gonna chop up the chile dulce and the onion. And I just wanna go over some of the condiments that we are gonna be putting in. So we're gonna be putting achote. This is an ingredient that adds color to your dishes. Basically it adds kind of like an orangey red color, and if you remember from our trip to Los Campesinos, we actually found a tree of this, the fruit, and one of the workers there helped us break one open, and we actually saw how it actually works, and it's actually really cool. And then of course our beloved Lizano sauce. You can't make this rice to be tico if you do not use Lizano. And remember that you guys can find this on Amazon if you don't live in Costa Rica, or in your Latino American foods store. For the chile dulce, we're going to be adding, I'll probably use about half of this. It's a pretty big one, so I'll use that one. It smells so good. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut the seeds out. Nobody wants bitter seeds. I remember a while ago, one of you guys mentioned to be careful with the knife. So we want to cut it into, I would say, a fine dice. I'm not doing a good job because I'm not paying attention. Now I know why you say don't cut yourself. All right, and there we have our chile dulce. I've also mentioned in previous videos that, actually in the gallo pinto video, if you haven't seen that one, make sure you check it out. It's got really good flavor, that recipe. So chile dulce isn't necessarily easy to come by in, well, at least I know in Canada. And so I don't really know about the States or wherever you are watching this from, but it has a different flavor from the traditional bell pepper. So if you can get the chile dulce, it would be much better But if you cannot get it, then you can just use a regular bell pepper and it'll probably work out just fine. And now for the onion. I will use all of this onion. It's a fairly large one. And I just like more flavor. For me, my logic is more onion, more flavor. Obviously you don't want to drown it out, but I think this will be just enough for this recipe. So here we have our rice. It's all done. That took about half an hour. And it's actually perfectly cooked. Look at that. What we're gonna start by doing is popping the onion and the chili dulce into here and frying. So I'm just gonna put like a tablespoon of oil to start with, just to fry things up nicely. So here we have the onion and the chili dulce, and we're just gonna throw it right in. We're gonna pop in a good pinch of salt. This is coarse salt. You can use whatever you like as long as it's enough. Just to get those juices from the onion and the chili. And while the onion and chili are cooking, we're going to be cutting up this chicken breast into nice chunks. You do not have to be gentle about it. And if you are picky about the fats, you can remove it. I don't. All right, so this is fairly well cooked down. A little bit softened. So now we're gonna add our achote. So I'm gonna add about this amount. It's about a tablespoon, maybe a little less. Mix that all in. And now it is time for our lisano. I'm gonna put about 3 tablespoons. Yeah, let's do 3, maybe 4. Let's do 4. 3.5. One more condiment is ketchup, and we're gonna put about 1 tablespoon of ketchup. Mix that up. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our chicken. That's a lot of chicken. Gonna add a little bit more of the chicken broth. It seemed a little bit dry there. So we're also gonna add 1 cube of chicken bouillon. Now we're gonna add in our rice. So we've got our rice nicely fluffed. And I'm not 100% gonna put all of it, but let's see how we go. Let's start with that. I left about 1/4 there. Break it up, mix it up. Now, some other things you can add to this if you wanted to would be celery, some grated carrot. Grated carrot is really great if you accidentally overcook the rice and you find that it's going to be too moist. It'll absorb it all and make it a little less wet. If you find those cloves of garlic, make sure you mash them up with your utensil so that nobody gets the mouth of the garlic. I think I'm going to add that rice, so it's good enough to do so. And the last thing we're going to add is going to be just a little more cilantro. I've got a whole bunch here, and I'm just going to slice it up, and we're going to throw it in. Alright guys, here we have it. Arroz con pollo and a little side salad. What is this salad? So this salad is it's called una ensalada rusa, which means Russian salad. I don't know why it's called that. I looked it up and there's no real answer for it. I assume it has something to do with the fact that there's beets in it. So it's basically made of beets, potatoes, and mayonnaise, and there's something else, and hard-boiled egg. And it's really good. It's actually refreshing to go with the chicken rice. So this dish is actually really common to be served at like a party or an event or something like that. And it's super delicious. So let's give it a try. The rice is still like really hot, so hopefully I don't burn myself. That's really good. I'm not the biggest fan of beets, but this salad doesn't taste that strongly of beets. And generally it's served cold. Mine's still a little warm because I just made it, but it's refreshing. It's almost like an egg salad, but with more veggies. It's like a healthier version, right? So the next time you guys have an event or you just want to make a nice dinner, I would recommend making this. It's really easy, it's cheap, it's fast, fairly fast if you have like a few minutes to spare and just chill in between. And it's delicious. Like I said, if you guys get the chance, make it. Let me know how it goes. Leave your comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Check me out on Patreon so you can see more behind the scenes, stuff like that. And I also have a new channel, Emma Fair ES, which is basically for Spanish videos. So if you're interested in, I don't know, giving your hand at learning Spanish or trying to understand it, or you just prefer watching a video in Spanish, I recommend you go there. I'll put the link like somewhere up here. And thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys want to hear about any other recipes down below in the comments. I love cooking, so let's get more recipes for you guys. Thanks again, and see you next time.